million and over. Out of that money received, over 200 has been disbursed to people across the country. Then 10 regions, now 16 regions. Yeah.
No, I'm interested in the disbursements that you talk about. You say 204 million.
Sure.
Has been, given to Maslock
Sure.
for disbursement to the public.
212, you said.
204.
And 4
Yeah.
million has been given to Maslock to be disbursed. Now, you talked about Maslock in the past seeing more like, an institution that disburses only in an election year.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at the current dispensation also.
Yeah.
Between 2017 and 2019,
Yeah.
according to the budget presented by the finance minister
Yeah.
on the 19th of November 2020, you disbursed 70 million from 2017 to 2019.
Well, I am talking from our records. Sometimes budgets are estimates. So I'm talking from the real facts as it is on the ground, that we have disbursed 200.
Exactly.
And then I can come to the breakdown when the need arises.
Okay, so let's get to the breakdown, because what I was talking about was 2017 to 2019.
2019.
By 2020,
Yeah.
it increases to more than 100 million in just 1 year.
Well, I don't know your source where you are quoting from. You've said it from the budget, but I'm telling you from 2017 to date. So definitely over 200 has been disbursed. And out of the 200, we do cash loans and we do vehicle. That is the asset financing aspect. So out of that, 136 went to cash loans, and then 63 million went to the vehicle aspects. So across the 16 regions, that is how much we have disbursed.
It may well be that the numbers do tally. We'll double check that shortly.
Sure.
But I think what is of interest here, the thing that Winston is alluding to, or what I noticed from what Winston was saying, is the sharp increase in disbursements in the year 2020.
Yeah,
so
I don't...
to put it in perspective, from 2017 until 2019, the total disbursements of Maslock was 70 million. But in 2020 alone, the election year, it went up to 110 million?
18 million, according to the finance minister.
18 million, according to the finance minister, in the election year.
Well, I am not sure about that, because I don't think in the year 2020 we disbursed that much. But like I've said, I'm quoting from our data. And the fact still remains that we started disbursing from 2017. We didn't wait until election year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at how much you disbursed, because, I'm just looking at paragraph 351 of the 2020 budget. And it says, Mr. Speaker, in order to promote small business and startups in the informal sector, the Microfinance and Small Loan Center disbursed loans amounting to 70 million to 60,000 beneficiaries from January 2017 to date.
And that was 2019.
That was 2019.
As we are speaking right now, our beneficiaries has shot from the number to 184,000.
Okay.
So it's possible that as at the time he had the data, maybe he hadn't had an updated version of whatever we had.
Well, he was speaking in
2019.
2020.
Was it 2020 or 2019?
This is the 2020 budget.
And he was talking about 2017
in 2019.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's possible that he didn't have the update as at the time he was making the pronouncement. But what I'm telling you is that these are the figures in our books. Yeah.
Okay. But you certainly.
But I cannot be exact on how much we disbursed in 2020. But what I'm saying is that the fact still remains that we started disbursing from 2017, which is unprecedented. Yeah.
Did you disburse more in 2020 than in any of the previous
That
years?
is why I'm saying that I don't have the exact as in 2020, but what I know is that we have disbursed from 2017 to date is the amount that I have mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in 2021 March,
Yeah.
this is the 2021 budget also,
Okay.
and it makes reference to 2020 and says under Maslock, an amount of 118,292,245 was disbursed. That's a key phrase.
Okay.
Was disbursed to 35,438 clients. The breakdown of this data shows that microloans comprising of group loans was 45,336,000, involving 34,434 clients.
Okay.
While the small loans was 605,711 to 460 clients. Project loans was 72,350,000 for 544 clients.
Yeah.
And it continues by saying the center recovered a total of 22 million, made up of 14 million from cash loans and 7 million from vehicle loans. This is paragraph 450 of the 2021 budget.
Okay.
And it says in 2021, the center at the time, as was said, projected
Yeah,
to
so
disburse 54 million.
listening to you, he specifically mentioned cash loans. But when he talked about recovery, he mentioned vehicle.
He talks about
So
cash loans,
yeah.
and so he talks about
He
cash
talked
loans.
he
And
talked
yes.
about micro loans and small loans. So
Yes.
the vehicle aspect wasn't included. And when you add the vehicle aspect, that is where we are hitting around 200. Because that aspect, we spend like 63 million. He didn't mention a vehicle as was disbursed, but in the recovery was when he mentioned the vehicle. So that is the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, he was talking about the year 2020 alone.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you recovered only 22 million out of the 118 million that was disbursed,
So-
according to the budget.
That was 2020.
Yes.
Well,
And,
like I'm
that
saying,
22
I wish we could do this discussion based on the figures I
So
am
share your
presenting,
figures with
because
us.
that is what I have shared with you. Because drawing me back to what the finance minister said, well, I'm quoting from our figures, and this is what we have in our books.
Okay,
So,
so
it's
what's the
possible that
correction?
at the time the information was given to him, it wasn't updated.
So what's
So
the
I am
correction you
giving
have?
you
Yeah.
an updated version
Okay,
of
what
we
does
have.
yours say?
So what we have collected right now is 90 million out of the 200. And if you listen to me over the last days, I've been going around the southern sector, and my worry has been the low recovery rates. Because if we are given 200 million and we are able to recover 90 million, that is like 45% on average for recovery. But any meaningful microfinance institution or successful institution needs to be recovering over 80%. Yeah, so for now, our recovery rate is not the best. It is at 45% as we sit right now.
All right. And these are your up-to-date figures.
Up-to-date figures, sure.
In the Volta and OT regions, the number is alarming. I mean, according to the news reports, only 10% has been recovered.
Volta was doing 11%, yeah, and then OT like 16%, yeah.
Okay.
In terms of recovery.
Yeah. That's worrying.
That's very low, and
So-
it's across the country. Let's not also forget that when COVID came, there was a grace period. At least, even the traditional banks, people were allowed some time because of what had happened across the world. So within that time, not much was done. But at least I believe that we've come back to normalcy, and this is the time that we have to intensify on the recovery.
Are you attributing this low figure, 11%, 16%, are you attributing
That
it
was
solely
for
to COVID?
That was no. The 11% and 16% is to OT,
And
Volta
Volta, yes.
and OT respectively.
Yes.
But in the whole, like the whole Ghana, the percentage we have is 45%.
I'm interested
There
in
are
Volta and OT.
Okay,
I'm asking about them.
sure.
And I'm saying that, are you attributing the 11 and 16% figures there solely to COVID?
I didn't say solely. I said we shouldn't forget that COVID also played a role. Before then, maybe they were not doing the best, but COVID compounded the problem. Yeah, so I cannot say that. I will not be very fair if I say it is solely COVID. No,
Okay.
we could have done better even before COVID. Yeah.
So if you take Volta, for example, where the recovery was 11%, that means 89% of the loans have not been paid back.
Sure.
That 89%, is there collateral on these loans?
No, so what happens is that when it comes to Maslow, we have different products. So we have the micro, which is the group loans, and then we also have the small loans, which can also be termed as the individual loans. So a combination of the two.
Yeah.
So with the group loans, you don't require collateral because of the group solidarity. All you need is to select 3 people for the group: chairman, treasurer, secretary. Those are the people who coordinate the activities of the group in terms of repayments and group meetings and all of that. They need to have a constitution for the group, and then you need a national ID card, passport size photograph, residential addresses, and your meeting place and everything is there. So when it comes to those micro loans, the requirements are not stringent. But when it comes to individual, for example, from 1 cedi to 20,000 Ghana cedis, for example, you need a guarantor in a good standing. Then anything beyond 20,000 to 200,000, which is the threshold for the CEO, you may require a collateral.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can expect that out of that 89% in the Volta region,
Mainly,
some of them,
in fact, mainly they were micro loans.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no collateral.
There could be few individual loans, yeah, but the most of the loans were micro.
Will be micro.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the strategy of Maslow? How are you going to get your money back?
We will get our money back because we have processes. And then right now, I'm beginning with a passionate appeal, but we clearly have processes that we can use to retrieve our money. Mind you, before we process these loans, we have data of the people in terms of their addresses and other stuff. So we may send demand notices, and then if those ones fail, we can even proceed to court. But we don't want to go there right now. What I think as an institution, maybe on our part, what we failed to do in the past, maybe we could have monitored more, and then we have processes before disbursement. Education is part of that in terms of financial literacy. Telling the clients on record keeping, bookkeeping, and all of those things. You explain all of these things to them before the disbursement. So these processes,
you actually do that?
We do. But
Okay.
I think, like I said before, that we can do better, because with those sensitization and education before disbursements, I can see that recovery will be higher than we are experiencing now. Because some people still think that taking money from Maslow is free, which is not the truth. It's far from the truth, because even though Maslow is for government, we have other banks like Ghana Commercial Bank, NIB, Agri Development Bank. They are also governments, but people take loans from those banks and then they still pay. So I think that
some of the Ghanaians who
Some
come
of-
to your institution and sign documents to get money from you as a loan for their businesses think it is free.
some of them think so, but that is not the
Why?
case. I don't know why it's. I think it's deliberate, because even before you access the loan, you go through processes. So that tells you that it's not for free. And as part of the name for Maslow, loans, they are not grants. So I don't see why someone can comfortably say those loans are free unless it's deliberate.
Deliberate on whose part?
On the client's mind. Maybe some people, you have people who take loans and they just make their mind not to pay.
But they don't
Not
think it's
only
free.
not only limited to Maslow, but other traditional banks. People take loans no matter how you pursue them.
Yeah,
You-
but
yeah,
but
but-
it's not they don't think it's free. They are defaulting on payments that they know they must make.
Yeah,
You
said
are saying
some
your clients
people,
think
not
some
all of them.
think it's free.
Not all of them, because maybe we need to educate them more. You know, let's not pretend we are Ghanaians. Maslow has been branded in a certain way. Some people even say it's for the party in government, which is far from the truth. So these are the realities on the ground, and we are working towards that misconception and letting people know that yes, whatever you think it is, it's not what it is. And going forward, our processes and everything, we are going to improve on them in order to reach our goal of recovery.
So let me take you to the group loans.
Yeah.
You've talked about how individuals would need a guarantor less than 20,000, a collateral above 20,000.
Yeah.
When it comes to the group loans, you need just 3 persons?
No, a minimum of 5 people and maximum of 25 people. They form the group.
And then?
But those coordinating the group, we need 3 people to be coordinating the activities of the group.
When it comes to the group loans, do they have any collateral? Do they have to present any collateral to
That
you?
is what I mentioned earlier, that they need a constitution for the group, and we need to know their meeting places.
How long should the group be in existence before they qualify for a Maslog assistance?
Yeah, of course, and that's why I'm saying a meeting place. The group should be in existence for at least maybe more than 6 months.
Is that what the Maslog requirements say?
Yeah, well, I what the Maslog requirement says, I may not be exact on the number, but of course, this is a group that you can prove that this is their meeting place. It's not just any random group. So definitely, at least for 6 months, we expect that the group would have been together for a minimum of 6 months. Yeah.
And once that is achieved, you give them money?
It's not that that is achieved. We give them money. We just don't give money anyhow. Like I said, they have a meeting place. We need to go and then see where they meet. You pay 2 or 3 visits. You do your assessment of the group members before you go ahead to disburse. Those processes that I talked about, we need to be sure that those processes are in place before monies are disbursed to them. We just don't give them money because they are a group.
When you disburse monies to these people, do you monitor to find out how the monies are used?
So that is why I was saying that in the past, the monitoring hasn't been as good as it should be. So going forward, we are going to intensify on the monitoring. They do all right, but we can do better on that.
Give us some
in
specifics.
terms of impact assessments, right now, the impact assessment on our loans is ongoing, because definitely some of the people, when they pay, they come back for repeat loans. There are some success stories. It's not bad entirely. There are some groups that when they come for the loan, they repay, and when they finish, they can even come for more. Yeah, so such people, you can tell that there is an impact on their businesses.
Okay. I want us to go back to monitoring for a moment. You said that it could be better.
Sure.
But they are doing something, right?
Yeah.
Give us some specifics. What form does your monitoring currently take?
So, for example, the country as we sit right now, we have 16 regions. And the country, we have zoned the regions into northern sector and then southern sector. These regions all have regional managers, and we have area managers. We have the area manager for southern sector, and we have the area manager for the northern sector. And when it comes to the deputies, for example, there is one in charge of the southern sector and the other in charge of the northern sector. So in each regional office, for example, we appoint people for various things. For example, maybe there's a staff in this region who is responsible for M&E. There's this person who is responsible for vehicle high pitches. There's this person for that. So with the structure that I have described, these are the people responsible to be going around the regions and then to be visiting our clients, for especially those who come to us for funds, to see how their businesses are going on and what we as Maslow can do to improve on their businesses. Yeah.
So this structure exists in regions like Volta and Uti, where we had these very low recovery rates.
They do.
Okay. So the typical monitoring and evaluation officer in Volta and Uti, what would he or she be doing on a daily basis?
Oh, and it can be on a daily basis. If you have to do monitoring on daily basis, then it will be counterproductive.
Well, you have
no, you can't do monitoring on daily basis, but at least maybe in a month, once or twice, then you go around visiting your clients. You know, those who have come for your money and all of that, to access their work. So far, the funds that they have taken from you with the documentation that they have brought, have they actually invested the money into the businesses that they said they were going to invest the money in? Those are the kind of things that they will want to know, and to see whether after taking money from Maslock, it has really impacted them positively. So those ones, yeah, they do. Because even with the recovery, the officers go to them for repayment. So as part of going for the repayment, it's also a way of monitoring, because definitely when you go, you meet them and then you have some discussions with them. So far, the money that you have taken, how beneficial has it been to your group? So they have a kind of discussion to know where they are at every point in time.
Does every single client get a monitoring and evaluation visit every month?
Not every single client. Like the microcredit I've said, they are a group, so they will meet and then, But of course, even from our offices, we do phone calls. It's not all the time that you have to be there physically. You can do phone calls, which we do most of the time, to find out about our loans and then those defaulting. Sometimes some people are in genuine difficulties, so we arrange to meet with them and then we do a rescheduling of their loan repayments. So going by their terms, they can tell you that, yes, I know I was supposed to have paid this, but this is the challenge I am going through. Right. I will be able to pay this or that. Then you reach an agreement with them for them to repay. So
is it accurate to say that every client will get at least one contact, whether telephone or physical, per month?
Sure.
Okay.
An officer can call multiple clients a day.
Yes, so each client will get at least one contact per month.
Sure.
Okay, we're having a conversation about Maslock, and our guest this morning, helping us understand what's been happening there, is Hajia, Abibata, Shani, Mahama, Zakariah. She's the Chief Executive Officer of Maslock. More from her and from you when we come back from these messages.
To clean an LPG tank, fill the tank with water. This forces out the remaining gas in the tank. Then release the water. The cleaner should wear appropriate protective clothing such as gas masks, goggles, boots, and gloves. LPG tanker vehicles should have appropriate warning inscriptions such as written warning signs, reflectors, and flashing lights. Storage tanks should be inspected regularly for rust and damages. Service providers should be called in when a defect is detected. A message from the National Petroleum Authority.
Imagine say water wake up at dawn. You know buff, you know chop. Where it vanish for your area for 2 weeks. You not get one drop safe inside your tank.
Hey.
Hajia, our life was in dangerous. Only our neighbor get water with water tank.
Water tank?
Yes, water tank. Mamma mia, that water tank get meter for checking water level. That water tank be fine past Kumasi Selendion. That water tank be tough like Ghana Army. That water tank, they carry water pepe, so say some no go left inside the supply tank. What a tank! That's my boss, Mr. Poncho go talk.
Beautiful, durable, with water level indicator and accurate volume of water. Water tank. What a tank! By Duraplast.
Mr. Bossman, with all these computers, servers, and electronic equipment, I know they see one cable for the floor crack.
Charlie, you be right too. We they use raised access floors from interface, so all the cables they hide under the raised access floor. So
this be the solution to the plenty cables where they my computer room for office. Accountant, call interface now.
If you're involved in new property development, renovation, or decoration, the right place for you is Interface Limited. Call us on 0274 999999 or visit our website at
www.interfacelimited.net. Facebook, Interface Limited GH. Instagram, interface.limited.
Do you
you know you can protect your family and property by purchasing our Millennium Enhanced Home Insurance policy or renew your policy to enjoy improved benefits? Talk to us today by calling 0501 285827 or 0302 766633. You can visit our website www.millenniuminsurancegh.com. Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
Step up your entertainment from the 5th of January 2022. Already on GoTV Value? Then upgrade to GoTV Plus to watch GoTV Max. Or if you're on GoTV Plus, upgrade to GoTV Max to enjoy GoTV Super. Don't wait. Reconnect and step up your GoTV package today via the My GoTV app. Remember, we upgrade you to the next higher package for free. Terms and conditions apply. GoTV. Love it.
Always the best and on Joy99.7 FM. I walk through the valley of the shadow of darkness and coffee in your cup. Enjoy the best and on
You're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's 9:04, and we're talking about Maslock. We're just a bit concerned because, well, their recoveries are not great. We're learning from their CEO, Hajia, Abibata, Shani, Mahama, Zakariah, some of the factors that might be behind this and what their plans are to remedy the situation. Maslock in focus. We'll be hearing more from the CEO in just a moment. Before that, though, it's the month of love still. So you can show love to your family by signing on to Alliance for Life. To sign on, dial *170# on MTN, and they'll give you a surprise. Just pick up your phone, dial *170#, follow the prompts, and let them get you and your loved ones covered. For more information, call Alliance Life Insurance on 0302 267 892 or just go to alliance-gh.com. Alliance for Life, my top for midlife.
And the first edition of the 2022 ABSA Business Connect series comes off this Friday, February 25 at 10 a.m. And this month's topic is improving your finances in 2022. Now, join ABSA Bank's Finance Director, Kushi, on Facebook. That's at ABSA Ghana to gain more insights on how to transform your financial life. The ABSA Business Connect series helps to take your business to the next level. And so it's happening this Friday, February 25 at 10 a.m. And it's improving your finances in 2022. Now, that's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Speaking of Africanacity, makes Africa great. Your text messages definitely make our show great. We thank you for them. Keep them coming through. Text messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by Glyco Critical Illness Plan, GSIP. It's in your best interest to survive.
And at Glyco Life, we believe this is the time to protect your future with our life insurance policies. Our products are designed to offer you peace of mind, especially in this COVID-19 era. So to our policyholders, your claims are very important to us, and we advise you to visit our offices or the Glyco Life website, glycolife.com, to lodge your claims for prompt service. We're surviving COVID-19 together, so please pay your premiums via your chosen mode of payment or by Momo on 0591 441473 or by e-premium for micro insurance to safeguard your policies. Our call center team is ready to support you, so call us on 0202 222 113 for assistance or contact us via our digital channels. We care for your safety, so all our offices are implementing the Ghana Health Services recommended COVID-19 protocols. Please practice social distancing, keep safe, and trust Glyco Life to cushion you for life.
Now write this down: kingdomstoreonline.com. This is the website that everybody has just got saved into their browsers, because it allows you to buy all of your favorite quality office essentials, equipment and furniture at affordable prices from Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited. It's hassle-free. If you live in Accra or Tema, they'll even deliver your purchase to you at home free of charge, or to your office, whichever you prefer. And you can pay for everything you buy via Momo across all networks. Terms and conditions do apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability is their hallmark. Okay, let's get back to it. We are learning about the situation at Maslock as they are striving to improve their recoveries on loans. Their CEO, Hajia Abibata Shani Mahama Zakariah, is our guest, and she's talking to us about it, helping us understand the situation. Before the break, we were learning about monitoring and evaluation, an essential part of any such program. And according to the CEO, that is an area in which better could be done. So we want to understand how it can be improved. First, by understanding what is being done currently. And we were using the examples of the Uti and Volta regions, where they have 16 and 11% recovery respectively. Clearly room for improvement. Hajia, so you've explained that every client would generally get at least one contact from a monitoring and evaluation officer per month. It's either personal a visit or phone call. So what happens on those visits and phone calls? What sort of information would Maslock get from a client during a monitoring and evaluation encounter?
Yeah, so before the break, I was telling you about our officers. When they even go for repayment, they want to know the challenges that our clients are faced with, and then things that Maslock can do to improve on those things. So because some of the clients they have genuine concerns about their businesses. So for example, if you know that this month this was how much was supposed to be recovered from a client, and then the person is not forthcoming, what accounts for the delay? Genuinely, maybe the client has some obvious reasons, so they will have a discussion. The officers will also tell them some of the things that they may want to do for us to improve on the relationship. For example, delayed payments, you can sit down with the client, and then the client on his own or her own will tell you that, well, because of these challenges that I am facing, I think that I will not be able to make it the following month. But going forward, these are the amounts that I am able to do. So you reach an agreement and you put it on paper. At any point in time, you want to know how the business is progressing. So if there are any challenges, definitely you want to know, and how best Maslock can position to help the clients.
Are your officers trained to give business advice?
Yes, we do capacity building as well. And even before disbursement, those trainings go on. They will tell them, like I mentioned, about bookkeeping, record keeping, the purchases that they do, profits, and they are supposed to know that you have to separate your profits from the interest that you need to pay to Maslock. So when you get your profit, you know that at the end of the month, this is the repayment that comes. So it's after your repayment and all of those things that you can confidently say that this is the profit that I've made from the business, and how you save and all of those things. Yes, we do training, and we also do capacity building, and in some instances we can even go into agreement with our sister agencies in terms of the capacity building. Some of them may train people and then come to Maslock for the things that we help them with. For example, right now we have sewing machines, we have hair dryers. So maybe a place like GEA in the past might have trained people who are into sewing or hairdressing. After the training, they can bring them to Maslock for us to help them set up with the sewing machines and then hair dryers, coupled with further training. So as and when there is the need for us to train our clients, we do.
So let's take the Volta. Let's stick with the Volta region example.
Why are you so much interested in the Volta and OT? You can also talk about Ashanti region, where our recovery rate is very good. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Ashanti region. We want to solve the problem where the problem exists.
Okay.
And clearly, I mean, an 11% recovery is not.
Yeah,
great.
that's for Volta region. OT
exactly.
is 16%.
So that's why I'm sticking with that example.
Okay.
So in the Volta region,
yeah.
Before a client comes for a loan, you give them capacity, you teach them bookkeeping, you might even teach them some skills.
Yeah.
You show them how to keep records.
Sure.
Then you give them the loan. Then every month you come in contact with them. You check how they are doing.
Yeah.
You observe how they are doing the bookkeeping because you taught them how to do it.
Exactly.
And if they have difficulties, they discuss it with you.
Sure.
And you are able to give them business advice.
Sure.
And still they don't pay.
Yeah, so that is why I was saying that we can do better. So it means that these processes or these things that we were doing, maybe we could have done those things better. And going forward, for example, the staff of Maslow, we have our core values: professionalism, excellence, teamwork, integrity, and are all parts of the core values that we have to live. In the past, staff were not given targets, for example, in terms of recovery, but right now, regional managers are given targets. Definitely, if a regional manager is given a target monthly to recover to so and so amount, he will get his staff to do the right thing, because we are going to work. It's not business as usual. People are paid to work, and then, like I told you, we are in all the 10 regions, and if you like, the 16 regions, because some of the districts are still in the old regions, and we are yet to set up 6 new offices in the newly created regions. So this staff, maybe before, they were not moving around in terms of the monitoring that they were doing, but with the targets now assigned to them, they are forced or compelled to do the right thing. So with all of these strategies put in place, we can only see a brighter Maslow. Yeah.
Just before Winston comes in, so what will happen to a regional manager who doesn't hit his targets?
So for example, it's performance driven, and then for a month, for example, if you don't hit your targets, we will give you up to 3 months, right? For the first time, you cannot say it's good enough to take any sanction or anything. So consistently, if you don't hit your target for 3 months, then it means that you are clearly not performing. And we are, like I'm saying, it's going to be performance driven. So if a regional manager can be in his position for 3 consistent consecutive months without really meeting your target, it just tells that you are not ready to work. So maybe, you cannot, definitely, those are things that we will have to think about internally, what to do next. But they know that
any sanction at the moment.
No sanctions, because I'm giving them up to 3 months, and then from the 3 months, we'll see those who are really living up to expectation and those who are not working. Then from there, we'll see what the next steps will be for those who are not performing.
This is something we started this year.
Yeah, we started this year. My position as CEO was just September. So these are the things that we are putting in shape for now. So for example, we've given them up to the first quarter, and then we've brought so many strategies in place. And to be very fair, I think that so far there is this kind of enthusiasm and then motivation, because, for example, the last debate we had in the office, they were taken aback because we needed to reward regions that were doing very well. And Ashanti region is the best recovery region in Ghana. They got the first prize. Second was Upper West region.
What was the percentage in Ashanti region?
Ashanti region, they are doing over 50%, which is not bad. That is not where we want to go, because, like I said before, any successful microfinance institution should be doing over 80%. But of course, among the rest of them, they are the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up before Winston comes.
Yeah.
So you've announced to these regional managers that they now are working on a performance-based system.
Yes, please.
And if they consecutively don't hit their targets for 3 months, there will be a sanction.
Yeah, something will happen.
But you
yeah.
haven't told them what
Not
it
yet,
is.
because I am believing that with what we have put in place, some of them, even the second month, I can see improvement in some of the recoveries so far. So by the end of the first quarter, at least if you are a regional manager and those targets that are brought to you, you are not performing, more or less it's an indictment on yourself. So I expect that you are going to do the right thing, and that is why sanctions are not even thought of right now. But of course, in the event that some people still are not doing what they are supposed to do, it's something that we will have to sit down as management and then come out with what to do.
But you'll be
But
making
definitely
that decision.
not sacking. You can't sack someone, but of course people can be reassigned or people can be moved around. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the non-payment bit. You've talked about the fact that people believe this is free money.
Yeah,
some
not
people believe
everybody. Yeah.
this is free money. Now, realistically, we are talking about how to solve the challenges facing Maslog. Are there times when party persons come to you, form groups, and want assistance?
Yeah, Maslog is for all Ghanaians. Once you are 18 years to 65 with a sound mind, you qualify to come to Maslog. Definitely people will come. It can be a party person, it can be a non-party person, it can be someone that you do. All the people who come to Maslog are not people that I know.
Great.
Definitely some will come that you know them, others you may not know them. But once they meet the requirements that we are asking for, we don't care whether you are party A or party B, because it's a Ghanaian institution.
Are there times people have come to you and said, oh, we want assistance, and you've advised, oh, you need to form a group, and based on that apply for assistance, for instance?
No, it depends on the type of assistance that they want. It's
so
not
for instance,
everybody who falls
for
in the...
instance, they want a loan from Maslog.
Okay.
And you say, well, you need to form a group.
No.
You haven't done
No, we can't just say you need to form a group, because when someone comes to you that I want an assistance, you want to know what kind of assistance the person wants. What business does the person have that he or she wants the assistance? So based on the business that the person is operating, before you come, you should even know what you want. I am not the one to tell you this or that. But if you come to me, for example, and say, I want an assistance of so and so amount, I ask you, what for? Right? But people don't even come to tell us verbally. They put it in application. So they will state the purpose for which they want the assistance, and then what for. So whatever you put in your application, at the end of the day, the preliminary assessment or appraisal will go to your business to see what you really have at your business that you have put on paper before we even go further. There are times that people come to apply for certain amounts. When you visit their businesses, you realize that no, this person doesn't have the capacity to have that huge amount that he or she is asking for. So you cut it down.
Are you aware of some party organizers and youth organizers who form groups and work to Maslog for assistance for these group members?
Well, I wouldn't have any knowledge about that. Like I'm saying, the microcredit is a product. So, for example, we focus on market women. That particular product, we do it for market women. For example, when you go to the market, there are people who sell tomatoes, there are others who sell onions, there are others who do. So they come with their group names, maybe Tomato Sellers Association or this or that. Then based on that, you appraise the group. Everyone has to be present. And even the day of disbursement, they have to be there, because some will sign, others will have a thumbprint. But as to whether youth organizers or organizers forming a group, that is not something that I would know, because whatever comes to Maslog is an application with names. So I wouldn't know whether somebody is a youth organizer or
because you raised the point that some Ghanaians think it's free money.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked that question, because I know when there's been this, I mean, I chanced upon a conversation where, some party people are having a conversation and somebody says, my bra, what party doing now?
And that is a misconception.
Good.
Yeah.
And this is
and
the
it
key
goes,
point.
it didn't start now. It started since its inception. And that is what we want to dispel. We want to dispel that notion.
So you agree that some people come for these monies and see it as their compensation for belonging to a political party, in this case the ruling party, and helping the party come into government?
Well, they may think so, and that is why I am saying that all those who are defaulting for now, people have to pay, and that's why we are going around talking to them. Because if they thought it was free money, at least now they know that it's not free money. But it will be hypocritical for someone to even come for a loan from Maslock and think it's free, because the processes you go through before the money is disbursed tells it all.
Let's talk about those processes. Winston, sorry.
Yes, let me just say, so in 2020, one for instance, in the presentation for the 2022 budget, the finance minister again, and I want your clarification on this because you've talked about up-to-date data.
Sure.
Talks about how 4.9 million was recovered in 2021.
Sure, that's true.
That's true.
And that is attributed to COVID, as I mentioned.
In 2021.
In 2021, yeah.
4.9 million.
Yes, that was what was recovered because of
it's
COVID.
Not entirely
That's
COVID.
for 20. Yeah, it's not entirely COVID, but that was how much. I told you that during the COVID, we came with some moratorium for certain loans. Some got 6 months, others got 1 year, depending on how much it is. So that could have been a part of the that could have attributed to the low recovery of 4.9 million, because if you are giving people a grace period of 6 months to 1 year, definitely nothing is coming to the center.
I want us to be specific,
also
because you talk about bookkeeping.
Sure.
Now, if I pick your books, and you say you train them on record keeping, if I pick your books, and if the person keeps book, you would know how much the person is earning.
Yeah.
Very simple, profit and loss account. Let me not even go to account. Profit and loss analysis. This is how much I've sold. This is how much it cost me to get here. And this is the profit I have made. Do you see these books? Do your supervisors report to you that when we went to these places, this is the number of people we visited, this is how much sales they've made over the period, this is the profits they've made, and this is the losses they've made?
So far, no. But we'll get there. Like I said, we can only do better. I cannot go to the nitty-gritty of what they went to. They have conversations with them, but to the extent that you go to every client and want to have this kind of information, that is a conversation that I haven't had. But I believe that those are the discussions that they have with them.
No, but
they cannot come and report to me as CEO
hold on a second.
on every transaction that they have visited.
So while they cannot report to you as CEO on every transaction they have, or every client they have visited, they can report to their managers, and their managers in a cumulative report, regional managers, will tell you, the CEO, so for instance, in this region, out of the 2,000 people we gave money to, 1,000 of them made profits ranging
those we have the data. We have the data, and that is why I was able to tell you that out of the 200 million Ghana cedis given, we could recover 90 million.
But I want to know those ones that you couldn't recover. You say some people, maybe they are making losses. Now, is it something that is documented? If I come to Maslog and I say, show me people who are making losses and what the challenges are, can it be provided because you say they go through bookkeeping?
So in my opening remarks, I made mention that we are currently doing impact assessments. So all of these concerns that you are raising are going to be part of whatever we are. In the past, we've had documentaries of businesses that we have supported. We have pictorial evidences and then videos of all of those things. But this ones, if somebody is bringing a report to a CEO, the person cannot go as to that level to break down. When I visited this person, these were the concerns. We have a generalized format.
So the point is, I'm not saying that supervisors should present that to you.
Sure.
The supervisors will present that to their district managers.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how come you have levels.
Sure.
So the supervisors will present that to their district managers. The district managers will present to the regional managers.
Okay.
So you would see the main figure. You would see the regional figures.
Yeah.
And that's why we're talking to you on a national level.
Exactly.
Okay, but what I want to know is that you as CEO also would have set the targets and would have set in place the policies that should guide the processes that they go through. That's something you will know.
Yeah.
And that's why I am asking. So when you say you're doing impact assessment now, an indication that over the past 5 years, that has not been done.
Yeah, for I to be very honest with you, yes.
You haven't done that.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, what this means is that you've given out over 200 million Ghana cedis of state funds and have not assessed the impact of it. Maslock has no idea.
I told you that we've had documentaries of businesses that we have supported. It's all part of the impact assessment, right? Because when you give businesses to people, you want to know how they are doing. And throughout this conversation, I've made that known to you that our officers visit our clients to find out the status. So impact assessment is general, it's big, you know. So it depends on the areas that you are looking at. What he's talking about, definitely my officers on the ground can have that information. But when they are bringing a report, they cannot get everything to the minute details as to when I visit this person, these are the questions or this. You can imagine how the report will be. It will be a bulky one. But of course, you can have a summarized report based on the processes and then some of like, okay, how much was given, how much was recovered from a region, what are the reasons that account for the delayed payments, and then why didn't they recover so and so much. Those are the things that they will have in a report. But to say that I visited a client and these were the concerns, mainly some of these challenges, they can even be general. You understand? So when he asked about the 4.9 million, I told you that when it was COVID, some people got relief in terms of sometimes you even have to relax your requirements. For example, when you have a force majeure, like what happened in Odona Market, we gave loans to the women, interest-free loans, moratorium of 1 year, and then no processing fee. The same thing applied in Akimodan last November. So some of these things, they happen, but you cannot say that that is what is done in its entirety.
Okay. So I guess what we're trying to do is get some education on what the standard practice is at Maslock. So if you give out a loan to a group or to an individual, what are the standard practices as at now? For the 200 million you've given out, what have been the standard practices? If you pick up a file of any of your clients, will you find their bookkeeping in there? Will you find their profit and loss so that you can identify which client has had a tough year, which client is making profit?
But even in the traditional banks, I don't think they go to that extent. I have worked in merchant bank, I've worked in agri development bank. So sometimes, for example, when you visit a client, we call something a call report. You engage the client on site, and the client, after doing your inspection and everything, you have a discussion with the client as to what is going on for him or her in the right way and what are some of the setbacks. So those kind of things, call report, when you come, you go for meetings and then you bring those things out. But you cannot capture everything in a report that you are supposed to give to a supervisor or a superior. But in meetings, you can talk about those things that, well, going around, this was a very common challenge amongst our clients, and then we as an institution we look at it and then see ways to improve on it going forward.
To be fair, I mean, a bank might not be
because profit and loss, I don't know, after disbursing loans to clients, we have our processes, we have an agreement with them, we know the repayment, they know when they are supposed to repay. and all of those things. Those are the things that as an institution we have. But as to profits and loss, it's a discussion that you have with them on site. You cannot come and then input those things in their
Hajia,
files
but
at the
see,
head
the
office.
distinction here is that as a state institution, tax will ensuring that people are able to work and become profitable, and as a result also create jobs. You are not looking at, whether when you pick the person, you are trying to help the person from scratch. And one of the examples that we've seen in other jurisdictions, for instance, is that when people are being assisted, and I see, Maslow, you asked for tax identification number and all of that. In other jurisdictions, these persons were assisted to register, become formalized. They were monitored for a very long period. Eventually, they became profitable and started paying income taxes to government. Okay, so it's not just take money, go and work, but we're looking at the long-term plan also.
Mind you, we are a pro-poor institution, and our loans are short-term. So maybe what you are looking at may not necessarily be what applies to Maslow, because taking care of the pro-poor, you need to make things very easy for them in terms of accessibility, in terms of funds. So you cannot put certain stringent requirements on their way, by way you are taking people away. But of course, we are interested with funds to take care of people, and those are GOG funds, which we have to take very good care of. So talking about the processes that I have told you and our monitoring and everything, if you listen to me, I told you that yes, Maslow is doing well, but we can do better. And of course, it takes, there are certain things that I don't really want to go into it. But of course, there is always a first time for something. I, as a deputy CEO for 4 to 5 years, I wasn't the CEO. Of course, I couldn't implement certain things, but now I am a CEO. Maybe how I will go about taking care of the institution will clearly be different from when I was a deputy CEO. So there is time for everything. We cannot get everything 100%, but at least we have started with this. That's the right step in the right direction.
Understood.
By putting all the strategies on board to improve on our recovery.
Hajia, you talked about Maslow being a pro-poor institution, and for that reason, you can't be so stringent on certain things. But being stringent will only help them do better, and also help Maslow get more
and that
money
is
back.
why we have processes. We have
But
processes, and we have
stringent.
a policy. No, we're talking about profit and loss and all of those, whether we have them on files. You can have a discussion, but I cannot go and have a discussion with a client on site, and then I come and input everything on the file that is already in the head office.
So that means,
and I'm telling you that even in the traditional banks, we don't do that.
And in fact, I was seeking to clarify that a traditional bank will never be expected to do that. But an intervention by government using state funds with the aim of improving the livelihoods of the beneficiaries should be interested in everything
and
that
I
the
think I have mentioned
Forgive
that.
me, let me just wrap up. You should be interested in everything that the beneficiary does with that money.
Sure.
So I would have expected that Maslow would have a system that expects that every beneficiary is making accounts according to the training they were given, and that if any beneficiary is deviating from that, they need to be helped back onto the path. But if Maslow itself doesn't even expect that information to be recorded, then how will you be able to help these people?
I think you are misquoting me. From my earlier submission, I told you that there are processes in place. Even before we disburse funds to people, we do training, we do capacity building. So to say that we don't care about it, I think that is not fair, because I made that very clear that we clearly have processes that we go through even before disbursements are made. I am just saying that some of the requirements, like you are talking about, we are a pro-poor. For example, and the essence of Maslow establishment is to make it available to people who ordinarily cannot access the traditional banks. So if you start coming up with stringent requirements, that's where I made that remark. Then in effect, what's the essence of Maslow? because the essence of Maslock is to make it accessible to those people who ordinarily would not have been able to go to the traditional banks for support. That is where the distinction is.
Okay, so you've talked about being in the past being a deputy CEO. Now you're a CEO. So what's your plan? What is going to be done differently?
So what is going to be done differently, like we have been deliberating on monitoring, we have to intensify on our monitoring. We have to intensify on the education, sensitization. Maybe the visits that we play to our clients will intensify them. The strategies that are brought on board with regards to targets given to regional managers, that will eventually get to every staff of the institution, is clearly going to bring out very good results. Of course, staff motivation and welfare is also key on the agenda, and then digitization. In the past, we tried to digitalize, but for now, we haven't. So we are giving ourselves up to the end of first quarter. Maslock will have to go digital. And those are some of the things that will eliminate some of these errors that we committed in the past in order to improve on our recovery. Because as you know, the funds for Maslock are revolving. So we can only be efficient if we are able to recover as much as possible for an institution to be sustainable.
You can only be efficient if you can recover as much as possible.
Sure.
If the recoveries do not improve, will the scheme be sustainable?
Well, the scheme cannot be sustainable without recovery, and that is why we are putting in all efforts to make sure that we recover as much as possible. Yeah.
Okay. We want to say a big thank you to you for spending your morning with us. It's been enlightening, and we certainly hope that we'll have more of such conversations in the coming days. Hajia, Abibata, Shani.
I hope next time I come,
Zakariah.
my recovery rates would have gone higher. Then we can talk about the success story.
That will make us all happy.
Sure.
We wish you the very best of luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. That's Hajia, Abibata, Shani, Mahama, Zakariah. She's the Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, Maslock. More after these.
Wondering what to do with your Cerelac 400-gram tin? The new Cerelac Wheat 350-gram pouch value pack is the ideal choice to refill your tin. It is affordable, convenient, and still provides key nutrients, iron, vitamin A, B, and D, zinc, and iodine to support normal cognitive function and help promote optimum growth and development. Grab your value pack